çok değerli
valuable ambassadors, foreign ministers, being in front of you here. I'm really more than happy to be here, but we have another happiness is that the former president of the parliament, Hikmet Çetin, we are the alumni of high school and universities, so pretty much we were raised within the same walls, which means that Turkey has friends. Majority of them are sensual, sensual. They like our nation, our people, and even if they don't understand, they have a sentiment towards us. That's important. But there are people who like Turkish nations with logic and conscious, but these are valuable. They're not very much in numbers, but they are valuable. One of them is Bruno Taut, who has built the walls that we have spent our time together. The great architect, he sought refugee from Hitler to Turkey. He had great respect to Turkey and Atatürk. He was logical. Wilhelm Kempf was like that. The famous pianist is also like that. And in terms of classicist, Wolfram Überhardt was like that. And there were the politicians, like Jacques Chirac. He couldn't like Turkey with his sentiment, but he has a deep logic. He was a Frenchman and he had great commitment to Turkey, but it was more logical rather than sentimental. And Demirel was his greatest friend because they had similar mindsets. Their vocabularies were similar. They had a rich language that would not have been translated by AI. This is really important. And there are scientists like Andreas Titze, Gilbeinstein. And they are not sentimental people, but they were attached to Turkey with logic. Bernard Lewis, for instance, he has cold temper. He used to criticize his own society, and he really liked Turkey. He was loyal to Turkey, to Turks. He understood the qualities of the Turkish people. So these are the things that I will be proud of, because Bernard Louis means spotting Turkey in history with thousands of pages. Plain, simple, and beautiful English. And he imposed this to the world. And Bernard Louis, very interestingly, received the enmity of the groups that are the enemy of the Turks. There were some groups who couldn't tolerate Bernard Louis defending us, but he didn't do this sentimentally. He made it logically, because he had incredible historical knowledge, philological knowledge, literature knowledge. And we talked with him for many years, and he never talked with me about Ottoman history. There were lots of other things to talk about. He used to criticize the Catholic Church. This is meaningful. But he knows best about the church. And he used to have very good relationship with the spiritual leaders like the Cardinal Koenig and sort. So well, I read his works enjoyably, and I remember certain things. He used to evaluate big men that Turkey didn't know how to attribute enough importance. Dr. Adnan Adıvar, for instance, the right wing and the left wing criticized him for various reasons without understanding who he is, what he is, and they tried to look down upon him. And I used to be influenced by that. Iran Menikovs, Louis Bazet, Bernard Louis, they were all together. And then I asked them, what did he teach you? And they said, Faust and Goethe. Really? Adıvar taught you that? Yes. And he told me, you wouldn't understand. He belonged to two worlds, and he was the master of the two worlds, was the words of Bernard Louis towards Adıvar. So then I started to look at him in a different light. And another one was Fazıl Rahman. He was a theologist, he was a consultant, and he was a futurist, a Kemalist, but the Islamic Jama'ah was enemy to him, and because he was defending the Turkish revolution against the fundamentalist groups. So he was logical. He was one of the people who loved this nation. So, and Bernard Louis is among the most important one among them. So receiving this prize on behalf of Bernard Louis, I'm more than jubilant. It made me really happy, and inshallah I will carry the weight of this gift. Thank you very much.